Hey everybody, so you know that I have this cutting grid, this waffle grid, and I like this thing. And I started out early on using the BeetleBit system, and then I moved on to the Cutter's Mate, and I have the Strip Cutter Pro that you ask about a lot. Well, I recently have been having some issues with my circle cutter, and so I decided, since I really love this waffle grid system, I was going to go to the Creators brand and check out their circle cutter. And guess what? I got it. So this is going to be an unboxing video, and I'm going to get this puppy out and play. So stay tuned. Let me get this thing opened up. All right, so this is such a large box. I can't even get it all in camera, but we'll do the best we can here to show you. The reason it's a large box is because this is the Circle Pro, I think that's the name, 24. And it cuts circles up to 24 inches, which happens to be exactly the size of my kiln shelf. And so, you know what? I'm gonna have to take a different tack at trying to get into this thing. Let me start down here. So my kiln shelf's 24 inches, so having I think they have one that's 12 inches if I'm not mistaken. Just check their website, it's creatorsbrand.com. But I think that I think there's a 12 inch, but I have the 24 inch here. So I am eager to break this thing open and show it to you. It has, oh boy, let's see. Oh, it's in another box. Okay, there it is. Creators Circle Pro 24. So as you can see here, it has this acrylic bridge basically, and then the circle cutters here, it swings around. You use this piece, and it says it requires 4 of the waffle grids. I've got 6 here, and so hopefully it fits just fine for me. And you can cut circles from 2 inches to 24 inches. So you know, if you want something smaller, you may have to do it by hand or have a lens cutter or something, but in this case I think 2 inches is a nice size. And so I am really eager to play with this. I'm going to get this thing out and try to take a look at the instructions and teach myself and show you how it's working. Okay, it doesn't look like this requires much assembly. It is pretty much the unit. So let me slip this. It's packaged well. It feels substantial. I like this already. Let's see here. If you have one of these, drop me a comment and let me know what you think, because I'm eager to hear from you. Yeah, it looks like I got to put the feet on it, but you know, most of this is ready to go. So let me go ahead and take care of that. Okay, I'm trying to do the widest angle on my camera here, but YouTube is horizontal. I guess I could turn this whole thing around, but I'm not going to mess with it. So I will just actually see if I can bend that. You can see, so it starts down here. There are a couple of legs that I had to put on down there, and then also down here on the other end. Let me get this squared up again. And so those were super easy to install. I have, now this, you need 4 of these waffle grids. I have 6, so I have mine going across the 6 here, and it is set, and it is in there, and it is super sturdy. This is really thick acrylic, and this thing seems really very well made. It came with what they call friction buttons, which are these little rubber buttons that you put in your grid so that it'll hold your glass. They stick up just off the top and they hold your glass. It came with a little tool, and so you just stick that in there to pick those guys up and move them wherever you need them to kind of hold the glass. And then you know that I like to use my speed balls, and so this tool actually works to pick those up too. You can just grab them using the other end and just pick them up and pinch them and move them out of the way. So the cutter has, you can go anywhere from 2 inches to 24 inches. It says if you're doing a 2 inch, or excuse me, anything less than 5 inches in the instructions, there's you can adjust this handle here. And so if you're gonna do something small, you need to be on the inner side of that. So that's what I'm gonna do here. It's got the ruler with both inches and centimeters, which I love. And the first piece I wanna cut is about 4 inches. I have an idea for a project. So I'm going to adjust this to be right at about 4 inches, lock that in, just tighten that nut down there. And that's pretty much it. Now, I'm not gonna oil the cutter. You could, I guess I could. So I've got a little oil pad here. I'm just gonna lift this up and give it just a little oil. I have a piece of Tecta that I'll put under here first. Make sure that it's somewhat, excuse me, get a little tickle in my throat, somewhat centered and on those friction buttons, get everything locked down. Now it says to just basically put the, you know, the gentle weight of the palm of your hand. It says with the relaxed weight of the palm of your hand, put it on this knob and do a full circle and run your score, and don't press too hard. So that's what we're gonna do. This is the very first piece, not run your score, score the glass. I'll run the score in a little bit. This is the very first cut I'm gonna do on this thing. We'll do the Tecta first, and then I've got some glass that I wanna use that's got different colors in it. So anyway, let's do the Tecta first and see how this goes. All right, now lift this up, pull it out from under there, and I need to run my score. I'm at a weird angle here. I'm very sorry. I'm trying to film this. I'm kind of leaning in a weird way. So now what I need to do is flip this over to run my score. You know, you've seen maybe in other videos, I like to use my speed ball to do that. So I put the ball on the inside by about an inch or so, and then just press on my glass. It just gives me enough leverage to kind of start that score. It was a nice little score on that glass. You probably, gosh, I got, excuse me, something caught in my throat. You can't see or hear this most likely, but I can see that score running very nicely all the way around. And what I'm doing here, if you haven't seen my other videos, so this little speed ball, see, this helps the glass roll, but it's also just a little bit off the top, or it gives me a little bit of lift off of this grid. And then I like to just kind of hold my glass on this side and press on this side, and then that is a little lever or pivot point to run my score. I'm pretty sure I have that run all the way around. No? Yeah. So now I'm just going to, I don't know if this is on, you probably can't see very well. Sorry, I'm at such a weird angle. I'm just gonna run a couple of release lines, and we will break this out of here. Use my little running pliers. This all should release here. Yeah, it's just waiting for it to release. And there you go. I've got now a, clip that off, but a really, really nice circle out of that. So let me get this cleaned off and reposition, and we'll start the next one. Once again, now in this case, I want to kind of see, because I want to get a fair amount of that green on the bottom into my cut. So I'm going to position this so that it's going to be a little bit close to the edge there, but that's what I want. I want that in there. All right, and the glass is not moving. It's pretty rigid on those friction balls. Here we go. Okay. Now, I'm gonna bring it back over here to run this score. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna run this and I'll be right back. All right, here it is. I forgot to turn the camera back on. I was having a little difficulty running that score, so I just took it off camera. Instead of using the friction ball, which is a little bit harder, or the speed ball, that's a little harder when you've got opaque glass. It's just hard to see what you're doing. So I did kind of take it off to the side here to get my score, but I got that cut out. So there you go, another decent circle out of this thing. So, I like it. I think it's an interesting concept. I think I'm going to need more practice with it. I like the fact that it integrates into this waffle grid with so many of my other cutting. And people have asked before, will I do a video on kind of how I use my cutting tools? And honestly, I would love to do that. I need to learn them better myself. So maybe I need to get a little bit more practice and kind of learn up on it. But the Creator Circle Pro 24 seems to be a pretty decent cutter. Now, I'm sure this is available at a lot of different retailers. I got it directly from the manufacturer. I'll put their website in my video notes, so feel free to go check it out. If you have one of these, I'd love to hear from you. Drop some comments and let me and the rest of my subscribers know what you think. And, you know, if you've got any tips or tricks, I'm looking forward to trying to cut some bigger circles. Remember, you have to just adjust this handle slightly, but I've got some projects coming up that might use bigger circles, and so we'll give it a shot for that. Hope you enjoyed kind of watching this and seeing how it worked in the initial setup. And first 2 circles I cut, I got good circles, so that's a good start. Catch you all later. Bye-bye.